Imagine the world crumbling around you, society's fragile web snaps, and you're left in the raw grip of survival, where the comfy illusions of daily life shatter like glass underfoot. But here's the shocking truth nobody wants to whisper in your ear. The skills that could save your ass are the ones schools, scouts, and even survival shows gloss over because they're just too damn uncomfortable. Too gritty, too close to our primal shadows. We're talking about techniques pulled from military field manuals, real disaster aftermaths like the Andes plane crash survivors or Hurricane Katrina's chaos, and the unfiltered biology of human endurance. These aren't feel-good tips, they're the dark necessities that separate the living from the statistics. Listen up, because I'm about to lay out 9 of them. Wait, but we'll dive deep into the core ones that hit hardest, so you can steel yourself before the storm hits. Trust me, ignoring these could turn you into just another forgotten story in the ruins. First, let's hit the one that makes most folks squirm: consuming your own urine when dehydration is clawing at your throat. Picture this: you're stranded. Water sources tainted or gone. Your body's cells screaming for hydration as sweat evaporates precious fluids under a merciless sun. Biologically, dehydration shrinks your brain, fogs your thinking, and shuts down organs starting with the kidneys. But urine? It's 95% water, filtered by your body, carrying urea and salts that, in small doses, won't kill you outright. The method: collect it midstream to avoid bacteria from the initial flush. Sip sparingly, maybe a cup max per session, and only if it's clear and not too concentrated. Because dark urine signals your kidneys are already strained. Why does it work? Osmosis basics: your body reabsorbs viable water without overwhelming the system, buying you hours or days to find a real source. Skip it out of disgust, and you hallucinate, collapse, die parched while your bladder held a lifeline. In the 1972 Andes crash, survivors credited this taboo act for staving off death long enough for rescue. Dark humor twist: nothing says recycling like toasting to your own health. But surviving thirst pales when hunger gnaws deeper, leading to the second uncomfortable truth: foraging for insects and grubs. Those wriggling protein packs society calls gross. Your stomach's empty, energy crashing as glucose levels plummet, muscles cannibalizing themselves in gluconeogenesis, a biological betrayal where your body eats its own tissue. Insects like crickets or beetles pack more protein per gram than beef, with fats and vitamins to boot. The approach: scout under logs or in soil. Cook them if possible to kill parasites via heat denaturation of proteins. Or eat raw in a pinch, crushing heads first to avoid bites. It functions because entomophagy leverages evolutionary nutrition. Humans have thrived on bugs for millennia, their chitin exoskeletons providing fiber while amino acids rebuild your strength. Turn your nose up, and starvation weakens you to infection or exposure. Embrace it, and you fuel the fight. Military rations in jungle training include this, as seen in SEAL survival courses where skipping bugs means failing the sim. Pushing into even darker territory. The third skill nobody teaches is properly disposing of human waste to dodge the invisible killers lurking in your own filth. Chaos reigns, sanitation systems fail, and suddenly cholera or dysentery outbreaks turn camps into death zones. Biologically, feces harbor pathogens like Vibrio cholerae that thrive in warm, moist environments, spreading via flies or contaminated hands to inflame your intestines, dehydrating you fatally. The method: dig a cat hole at least 6 inches deep, away from water sources. Cover it completely to block vectors. Physics of soil absorption neutralizes odors and contains bacteria. Why effective? It breaks the fecal-oral transmission cycle, using natural decomposition by soil microbes to render waste harmless over time. Ignore this squeamish chore, and disease ripples through your group, claiming lives faster than hunger. Master it, and you preserve health in the horde. In post-earthquake Haiti, improper waste handling amplified cholera deaths to over 10.000, a grim reminder that your crap can be deadlier than the quake. Now, here's what hits below the belt: learning to kill and butcher small game with your bare hands or improvised tools. Stripping away that civilized veneer. You're weak, protein deficient, your immune system faltering as amino acid shortages halt antibody production. A rabbit or bird isn't cute anymore, it's sustenance. Understand the anatomy. Target the neck for a quick snap to sever the spinal cord. Minimizing suffering and adrenaline taint in the meat. Method. Use a rock or stick for dispatch. Then skin by peeling back from incisions. Gut carefully to avoid spilling bile. It works through efficient energy transfer. Quick kills preserve meat quality. And cooking denatures harmful bacteria. Botch it from discomfort. And you starve or poison yourself with spoiled guts. Get gritty. And you sustain for weeks. From Vietnam War evasion stories. Those who embraced this outlasted those who couldn't stomach it. Shifting to the mental minefield. The fifth unspoken skill is cultivating radical acceptance of pain and loss to prevent psychological collapse. Stress floods your system with cortisol, eroding decision-making as the amygdala hijacks rational thought, leading to panic or paralysis. In survival psych from military interrogations, unchecked grief spirals into suicide or reckless acts. The technique. Practice mindfulness breathing, inhale for 4. Hold. Exhale, to activate the parasympathetic response. Lowering heart rate and cortisol via vagus nerve stimulation. Why it sticks? Neuroplasticity rewires your brain to compartmentalize trauma, keeping you functional. Deny the discomfort, and despair devours you. Face it, and you endure like the Hiroshima survivors who rebuilt amid ruins. It's darkly funny, in the apocalypse. Therapy is just not dying inside first. Deeper still. The sixth is scavenging from the deceased, raiding bodies for gear without letting ethics freeze you. Resources scarce. Exposure looming as hypothermia sets in from inadequate clothing. Corpses hold boots, jackets, tools, untapped assets. Biology demands it. Your survival hinges on insulation to maintain 98.6 degrees. Preventing convective heat loss. Approach. Check for hazards like disease. Strip essentials quickly. Move on. It operates on pragmatic resource cycling, turning loss into leverage without emotional baggage. Hesitate from taboo, and you freeze or starve. Act, and their end aids your continuation. In Arctic expeditions like Franklin's Lost Crew, evidence shows survivors did this to persist longer. Finally, the seventh that ties it all, the uncomfortable art of bartering your morals for alliances. Trading favors or info in lawless times. Isolation breeds vulnerability. Human dynamics from prison camp studies show lone wolves get picked off. Form uneasy pacts, even with shady types. Sharing skills for protection. It works via social contract theory. Mutual benefit outweighs solo risk. Biologically reducing stress hormones through group security. Cling to pride. And betrayal or attack ends you. Adapt. And you thrive in the shadows. This part is based on real-world survival experiences in the field, not official academic sources. There you have it. The uncomfortable edges of survival that could mean everything when it hits the fan. Arm up with this knowledge. Practice in the quiet times. And remember, comfort is the real killer in the end. Stay sharp out there.